Tell me like a Hellcat.
I get my kicks from the thrill of the chase. When I'm done, I'll put you back in your face. I'll be the memory that you just can't erase. You'll be needing me as you breathe in me. Catch me if you can, 'cause I can't stop running, won't stop. You can't beat me now, yeah. No, I won't stop till you keep on.
Hello there guys, and welcome to round 2 of the Season 5 IF1C Championship. I'm JWF1 and we are here at the Sepang International Circuit in Kuala Lumpur for the Malaysian Grand Prix. Last season saw quite a close battle for the podium place between Robert Hunter and the two McLaren drivers, who at the time were Jordan Wilson and Matthew Redmore. Last season as well saw Oliver Glazebrook took the victory ahead of Robert Hunter and Jordan Wilson as well. Robert Hunter keeping Oliver Glazebrook honest towards the end. Hopefully we're expecting quite an exciting race here today. Well, before we start then, let's have a look at the qualifying comparison with Robert Hunter and Joseph Willows. This is the qualifying comparison of the Malaysian Grand Prix. On the left of your screen we have Robert Hunter for Mercedes, and on the right we have Joseph Willows for Renault. So let's have a look then at this qualifying comparison. We start it now as they go down the pit straight and they cross the line now then to start the lap, then heading down towards turn 1, up it towards 8th gear as you break in towards turns 1 and 2 on the track. As you can see, Joseph running a little bit deeper towards turn 1. Robert Hunter getting an advantage there, but of course he obviously has a Mercedes engine compared to Joseph, who has a Renault engine in the back of his car. And then as they go swooping around turn 3 now then for the first time as they go up towards the end of the first sector. And as you can see, by a clear margin, Robert Hunter already in front by a long way, not only due to the Mercedes engine compared to the Renault engine, but of course Joseph going too deep in towards turn 1 as well. Hunter leads at the end of the first sector as they go through in towards turn 4. Joseph Willows there losing it a little bit on the exit, and that cost him a little bit more time as well. Joseph suffering from a little bit of oversteer on this lap so far as they go through the chicane now then, both of them taking it quite quickly it appears as they go up towards the quick double right-hander as they come out of that corner. Very easy to go right through this corner. Like Robert Hunter just had a near twitch of oversteer but was able to correct it and avoided the oversteer as they go through the hairpin. Very easy to oversteer the car coming out of that corner. As you saw, Robert Hunter having a little bit of trouble there, but as you can see at the end of sector 2 there, Robert Hunter way ahead again in the second sector. And of course, obviously not really much of a comparison, but still Robert Hunter at the end of the second sector quicker than Joseph Willows. In towards the right-hander then, the first part of the last sector there. Robert getting a little bit of twitch, using too much of the curve on the outside there, and that'll cost him a lot of time as he goes through the quick chicane now then, and up towards the second chicane now then before the first DRS straight. As you can see, Robert Hunter getting slightly held up there by Tyan Reynolds, but luckily hasn't cost him too much time as he flicks on the DRS as he goes down the straight towards the final corner on the track. Braking very heavily now then, Robert takes it down to 3rd gear. Through the final corner he goes, trying to avoid the oversteer as he can, flicking on the DRS, and as we cross the line, Robert Hunter clearly ahead as he crosses the line to qualify P2 with Joseph Willows P7 for this race here at the Malaysian Grand Prix here in Kuala Lumpur. So let's have a look at the grid then for today's Malaysian Grand Prix. Yet again a Mercedes front row lockout with Matt Orange again on pole position ahead of Robert Hunter in 2nd. Michael Moran starts in 3rd with Jake Shute returning to the series in 4th, replacing Leo Calvatis for the rest of the season in Force India. Matthew Alder, as he's known, not Matthew Adler as I called him last weekend, is in 5th with Ollie FLAVELL in 6th. The two Renaults lockout row round 4 with Joseph Willows 7th and Cesar Hernandez in 8th. Aaron Collingwood is in 9th for Williams with TJ McLean the reserve driver in the Sauber in 10th with MAATTA off the pace in 11th, with Tyan Reynolds unable to qualify thanks to a crash, and also as well the biggest shock, Oliver Glazebrook is in 13th place as a result of disconnecting during qualifying and unable to get back into the qualifying session. However, because Ferrari was the only car available of the highest, he was able to get back into the Ferrari, so he will be on the grid in the Ferrari in 13th place. The drivers that did not attend were Andy Graham, Matthew Dummer, Cameron Barber, Mo Swanson, Connor Smith, Sam Thompson and Francis McGinn. They were the drivers that did not attend during this race. So 14 laps of action. It's going to be quite interesting. So without further ado, let's get to the Malaysian Grand Prix. So here we are then, here at the Malaysian Grand Prix in Kuala Lumpur. It's 14 laps of action here at the famous Sepang International Circuit, and we're hoping for a great race. It's the second season in a row that we've had it for round 2. It was obviously their last season as round 2, and it's continuing this season. And as you can see, we get a great shot there of the last corner. Here is an overview of what the track looks like then in total then. There's 2 DRS straights to keep an eye on, 15 corners in total. The circuit length is 5.54 kilometers. Max speed you're going to get is 326 kph. The lap record of 134.223 set by Juan Pablo Montoya in 2004. But like with Australia last weekend, I think that's easily going to be beaten due to the cars that we have in this series. And as you can see, a great shot there down at the first couple of corners. And well, the Mercedes are locking out the front row. Will they be able to transform that and make it their second consecutive 1-2 finish? So here we go then. 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and it is go here at the Malaysian Grand Prix here in Kuala Lumpur, and it seems to be a good start from the front too. Looks like Hunter trying to keep up with Orange as he goes side by side with him down towards turn 1. Hunter trying to do what he did in Australia as he goes down through turn 1. As Hunter being able to get the lead, there's been a contact down in the background there. A Williams and a Toro Rosso have made some contact there. That was Flavel and Collingwood, it believes, and looked like a Haas also had a bit of contact as well, but Hunter is in the lead of the race. He took the lead from Matt Orange, and Hunter leads the Malaysian Grand Prix. Moran going defensive from Alder there. Shoot looking to the inside of Alder, and Shoot's gone for a spin. Was there contact between Alder and Shoot? There's been contact there down at turn 4, and oh, there's 2 more spinners. Tyne Reynolds, and that looks like Joseph Willows has also gone for a spin down at turn 4, and it looks like Collingwood there had to let Shoot pass. Looked like he might have had a penalty from Gomez there, as Tyne's gone for a spin. Must be dirt on his tyres, and that's going to drop him more back. He's even lost an end plate look on the front wing, so a disastrous start for Tyne Reynolds and the Red Bull. But it is Robert Hunter who leads the way. Michael Moran keeping himself behind the 2 Mercedes in the moment, trying to give him a run for their money, with Glazebrook trying to make his way back through the field up in 8th place. In fact, he's dropped a position down to 9th as well. Looks like Shoot has made a move on him there. If that's the case, great stuff from Shoot as they go through into the second last corner there. The top 3 keeping themselves honest as they go down the port pit straight, heading down towards the final corner. Orange trying to get the lead back off his teammate if he can. Was that a bit of smoke coming off Hunter there? And was there a bit of smoke coming off Moran there? Couldn't quite tell. But as they come down the pit straight at the end of lap 1 or 2 of 14 then, it's Hunter who leads, as it looks like Reynolds has made a mistake again down that chicane. Hunter leads, Orange 2nd, Moran 3rd, Alder 4th, Flavel 5th, Collingwood in 6th, and then it is McLean 7th, Shoot 8th, Martin 9th, and Glazebrook 10th, because Glazebrook and Willows are back in the pit. Willows and Glazebrook are in the pits. Why is that? Why are they back in the pit? Let's have a look then. Let's see if we can get an idea from Oliver Glazebrook's perspective then. So we ride on board there. Let's see, because he obviously started down in 13th, obviously on the soft tyre, so obviously trying to go a little bit long on this thing. Look at the great initial getaway you got. Just show how much power the Ferrari has compared to the others. As you can see, trying to avoid contact, but he makes contact with the back of McLean. Looks like it was a little bit of argy-bargy there, and has lost a little bit of an end plate, and in fact got red front wing there. So unfortunate for Glazebrook, that's why he's going to have to come back into the pits. Incident between cars 67 and 73 under investigation. That is Jake Shoot and Matthew Alder there. It should say Alder, but because this was edited way ago, it still says Adler, and I think it will say in Takia, as there was even more contact there between Glazebrook and McLean going through to turn 4 there, and he also got a view of the spins. Now let's have a look at what Joseph was, what happened to him, and how he spun. So he was on the inside of his teammate. Hernandez tries to have a look to the outside of Collingwood, and he just looks like he just loses it on his own accord there. Just put the power down a little too early, and that looks like the same has happened to Reynolds there. So unfortunate for those two as far as they are concerned there. A disastrous start for Joseph Willows. Let's have a look then at how Shoot got past. Shoot just dived it down the inside. A little bit more contact, but I don't know if the stewards will want to take note of that, but who knows really. Now let's have a look why Joseph's into the pits then. So he goes around the right-hander, and oh, Yeri just pulled right in front of him there. Yeri Martin just pulled right in front of him, and just like Oliver Glazebrook, he's also got red on his front wing, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's investigated. Meantime, Hernandez looking to the inside of Yeri Martin. He takes knife because Matta's gone straight on. Matta has gone straight on at the last corner, and that's going to cost him time now. Then he's down to 10th with dirt on his tyres, and he's lost an end plate. That's going to be a trip to the pits for the Finnish driver, and more bad luck for Yuri Martin as a result. Start incident under investigation. That's the one with Glazebrook and TJ McLean. So an investigation between those two at the start is being investigated. as we speak. Meantime, we've got a battle for 6th place going on. Sorry, 5th place between Ollie FLAVELL and Aaron Collingwood. As it looks like Robert Hunter there, as we look back at the two Mercedes, look a little bit deep down that double right-hander. And Orange tried to capitalise, but unable to make the moves done. Incident between cars 32 and 45. Oliver Glazebrook under investigation. I'm guessing that's the one down at turn 4 when they made the contact initially there. So some more investigations being done. The second investigation involving McLean and Glazebrook at the same time, as both the Mercedes is there just kick off the dust at the exit of that right-hander. Incident between cars 95 and 97 under investigation. That's MAATTA and Joseph Willows. Presumably the incident happened at the second to last corner, which is where the two Mercedes boys are at right now, which is why Willows had to come into the pits to repair his front wing there. So, disaster either way for Oliver Glazebrook and Joseph Willows. Both of them are going to have to make their way through the field. Same for Ty and Reynolds as well. And maybe MAATTA. And speaking of Joseph Willows, it looks like he went a little bit ragged coming out of that chicane there and loses the back end a little bit there, pushing a little bit too hard, as it looks like Hernandez has just got by TJ McLean there. I wonder if McLean has made a mistake somewhere. Unfortunately, we haven't got a replay of that because, well, there was no footage from McLean's POV. But as you can see there, look like Orange locking up a tad into the first corner there as he pushes desperately hard to get Hunter. This is pretty much Melbourne repeating itself again. It's into the pits. Comes Ollie FLAVELL very early, in fact, on lap 14 now, and a very early stop then from the Toro Rosso driver as he looks to add to his points account after picking up a brilliant 5th place last week at Melbourne. Incident between cars 67 and 73, no further action, so they felt it was just a racing incident between the pair of them, or they felt there was no contact at all. But either way, no further action between Shoot and Alder in terms of their incident on lap 1. As you just saw there, Martin's into the pits to repair his front wing there. We just got a brief look at the Williams driver as he came into the pits. And as the two Mercedes begin to pull away from more, and they look like Hunter there just lost a little bit of the back end there. But now we're going back to lap 1, and we're going to get a look at a replay of Hunter's start, because obviously he managed to get the jump on Orange at the start. So he just got a brilliant getaway, just like he did in Melbourne. And as they come down in towards turn 1, as you can see, Orange tried to break that a little bit later. He knew what Hunter did last time, but Hunter just hanging it around the outside through turn 1 and then through to turn 2, and Hunter grabs the lead perfectly, and Hunter finds himself in the lead of the Malaysian Grand Prix. But this time, can he keep hold of it, unlike Melbourne? As we just had a brief look there at Matt Orange. Again, the two Mercedes boys fighting it out at the front. This is obviously what we want to see. This is what I said back in Melbourne. If these two drivers can keep each other on tenterhooks during these races, then maybe we can get a close championship fight between Orange and Hunter. Hunter has never been in a championship situation before, and he'll want to do it this season if he can. Now he's at Mercedes, and as you saw there, Orange just getting the DRS there on Hunter, but unable to make the move stick there, unless he was just being a little bit cautious due to the fact that they are teammates. And this is some good points for the German-based team as they look to make it their second win in a row and their second consecutive 1-2 finish as a team, as they now come up towards turns 4 on the track. And as you see there, they've pulled 3.3 seconds away from the next guy other than the Mercedes, which is Michael Moron in the Ferrari. Meantime, Moron's teammate Oliver Glazebrook has got up into 10th place as a result of Martin's pit stop. Obviously, Glazebrook had to come into the pits to repair the front wing after what happened to him at the start of the race, so that's why he's down in 10th place at the moment. And obviously, he wasn't able to qualify yesterday at all because he obviously disconnected and started at the back, and obviously his comeback has not started off well. As we look at Matthew Alder there, who's doing an absolutely stunning job at the moment in P4 in the Haas. Surely could be a future champion in IF1C perhaps with the performance he's showing in the Haas. He's doing a fabulous job. Obviously he showed some pace last season in the MAATTA, and just like what Jordan Wilson did with MAATTA back in season 3, he was able to drag that car up through the field and get it some good points. And well, he seems to be doing the same here in the Haas, doing a fabulous job. And well, I think it's going to be a bit of a challenge there for him to catch up to this man, Michael Moron, who's in 3rd place. Let's not forget, although they have the same engine, let's not forget it is a Ferrari that Alder's trying to catch up, and obviously that's going to be proved to be a little bit difficult. As meantime, Aaron Collingwood is up into 5th place as a result of Ollie FLAVELL's pit stop that he made a little earlier on. As Hunter and Alder into the pits as well. So 2 people into the pits, as both Collingwood and Shoot also came in as well. Those 2 are actually fighting it out for 5th place, or could be 6th if FLAVELL is still out in front of them after those 2 make a pit stop. Meantime, it has left Matt Orange back in the lead temporarily in this race, as Hunter has just made a pit stop in this race, I presume to go onto the onto the soft tyres, of course. I think the 3 tyres that are available here in Malaysia are the super softs, soft and medium tyres. So I'm guessing Hunter's going on the soft tyres. He feels the tyres can last to the end of the race. And we've got a spin right in front of Orange. That looks like MAATTA has gone for a spin, just going out of that corner. So more problems for MAATTA. And, well, obviously losing a little bit more grip. Luckily, oh, nearly made contact with Morn again as the tyre grip just gets worse for MAATTA as he spins out of control yet again at the double right-hander. And his race just keeps on getting bad to worse for the Finnish driver in the Williams. He's not had a good start to the season, and it's definitely not happening again here in Malaysia. And race control, start incident, no further action. So that was the collision between GLAZEBROOK and TJ McLean, and a couple of others as well. No further action in terms of that as well. And so nobody getting punished for that start incident at all, as we just get a view there of Matt Orange. And our question remains, will he be pitting this lap then for a fresh set of tyres? Let's see. He's going a little bit quicker, and he is. Matt Orange into the pits for his mandatory pit stop, as the Mercedes mechanics will get to work on his car. Has had to jam on the brakes there, just like he did in Melbourne, to ensure that he got onto the pit limiter there, as his team are preparing for a set of soft tyres onto him there. And it seems to be a smooth stop there from the Mercedes driver, as Michael Moran is in for Ferrari. Race control, incident between cars 32 and 45, that being TJ McLean and Oliver Glazebrook. No further action. That was the one down at turn 4, so no further action in terms of that. It did look like there was a little bit of lag as well from TJ McLean's side, so if that's the case, there's nothing really much I can do. But look at this, looks like Orange is taking the lead from Hunter, but Hunter trying to hang in him on the outside through to turn 1. Orange has the lead, but Hunter's trying to dive it down the inside. A little bit of contact between the two Mercedes drivers, but it's fair, at least he didn't shove him off. Orange trying to stick with Hunter as they go side by side through turn 4 now then, or turn 3 I should say, up the hill towards the right-hander, and Hunter regains the lead as a result. Robert Hunter retakes the lead, and Orange, just like in Melbourne, if he wants to win this race, he's got to get him on track, and both of them are coming up to lap MAATTA at this rate, who seems to have lost it, and the chicane, hopefully he doesn't take out the two Mercedes. Luckily he didn't, but more disastrous work there for MAATTA. He seems to be struggling around this Sepang International Circuit, and it's clearly showing as well. He just has got no pace whatsoever, and just seems to be struggling in terms of the balance. As meantime, side by side, go Collingwood and Shoot as they both battle it out for P5. Brilliant scrap between the pair of them as they go up in towards the chicane, and Shoot just gets late on the brakes, and he takes 5th place from Aaron Collingwood. Brilliant stuff. Will Collingwood try and get him back in towards the hairpin? He looks to the outside. Shoot defending the inside of that corner, and rightfully so. Shoot keeping on the 5th place. Collingwood trying to flick it back on the other side, but unable to make the move stick, and Shoot up into 5th place. Looks like Collingwood there just had a little bit of a slight come out there. Also, the incident between Shoot and Glazebrook, it looks like Shoot's just been given a reprimand for that as well, but luckily no further punishment, as Collingwood there goes a little bit wide through into that chicane, and that will cost him a little bit of time. Race control, MAATTA receives a qualifying ban, rejoined unsafely into car 97 of Joseph Willows. So MAATTA for the Bahrain Grand Prix is going to be getting a qualifying ban for what he did, which is unfortunate for the Finnish driver. If his race didn't go from bad to worse, it has now, as Matt Orange meantime still unable to find a way past Robert Hunter in this race now. And as we're on lap 8 of 14, so we clean this lap, we have specifically I believe 7 laps to go in this race, as it looked like Shoot there had to go a little bit defensive from Collingwood, as Collingwood looked like he had some DRS to use there. As meantime we're getting a view from Ty and Reynolds, who just seems to be struggling to catch up for the rest of the pack, down in 12th place, and it's just been a tricky start to the Red Bull driver as a result, even for his teammate Andy Graham, who's unfortunately not here this weekend after what happened to him at the Australian Grand Prix last weekend. As meantime the two Mercedes boys again still battling it out in front, as Orange tries to do what he did with Hunter, pile him under pressure and get the lead off him if he can, as they come out of that right-hander. They're now at the beginning of sector 3, flat out through the quick left-right chicane before approaching the second to last corner. The first DRS straight, as another mistake from MAATTA. MAATTA has lost another bit of front wing, and it looks like he might have lost it on the curb just coming around here. And, well, I wouldn't be surprised if pretty soon MAATTA ends his race. Another disaster for him, and another trip to the pits for the Finnish driver, as he's now being lapped by everyone. He had to get on the grass there just to get out of the way of Glazebrook and FLAVELL, and Glazebrook's lost it just coming out of the chicane there. He goes into the onto the gravel, and, well, Glazebrook has gone for a spin as well, And, well, he's dropped down to knife behind Cesar Hernandez. Looked like the two Mercedes boys, I think, were scrapping it out down the pit straight as Cesar just about avoids contact with MAATTA. And, well, luckily there his race wasn't ended. And I was right, the two Mercedes boys are side by side with each other. And Matt Orange has taken the lead. Matt Orange leads the Malaysian Grand Prix. Unfortunately, the cameras weren't able to catch that because GLAZEBROOK had spun from the spectator cam. But Matt Orange is the new race leader. Matt Orange leads the Malaysian Grand Prix. Hunter tried to get him back there, but it wasn't enough. And Orange leads the Grand Prix. Let's have a look then at a replay and see how on ever he got past. So he flicks on the DRS, gets the slipstream on Hunter, and well, it was clearly easy. Orange also setting the fastest lap of 1:34.580, I think it said. Goes to the outside, pure DRS, gets the move done, but leaves room on the inside for Hunter. A little bit more contact there. Orange losing a little bit of front wing. I wouldn't blame that on Hunter. It looked like just a little bit of understeer from his part as he just goes down the inside again. More contact. I wonder if Toto Wolff's getting a little bit worried with these two making contact or getting too close for wears. But Orange able to get momentum, and Orange now leads the Malaysian Grand Prix as a result. And, well, will he be able to run away into the distance like he did at the Australian Grand Prix? Only time will tell. Well, at the moment, Hunter's still keeping him honest as he's still 7 tenths behind him at this stage. As you can see there from the last corner, there are the two Mercedes now, and Hunter's keeping up with him this time. Unlike in Melbourne, where Orange was just able to get away because obviously he was on the quicker tyres. These two are now on the same tyres, and Hunter is able to battle with him a little bit more. And as you can see there, look, but Michael Moran has also started to close up just a little bit. I think the last time we saw he was about 7.7 behind the two Mercedes, and now it's been cut down to 6.3, maybe because these two have been battling now, or because Michael Moran has been able to push a little bit more on his tyres. Maybe he's got a little bit more grip than these two have at the moment, but whether he's able to catch up with 5 laps to go, it remains to be seen, as the gap between the two Mercedes is 6 tenths of a second. So Hunter keeping him honest at this stage. He took 2 tenths out of Orange's lead there going at the end of sector 1. As they go flat out through the quick left-right complex of corners there, and at the corner where a lot of people have made mistakes so far in this race. So far nobody else has done as of yet, but you never know, of course, with these 5 laps remaining, somebody else could make a mistake going out of those corners. It's obviously the same place where the two Ferraris ended up slipping off after some oil in 2001, and Tyron Reynolds is spun just coming out the second to last corner. Another mistake for Tyron Reynolds, and as he was trying to catch up to TJ McLean, who was only about well, he was 17 seconds behind him, but he was getting onto him because he was in a Sauber. He spun it out of control. I think it was a little bit closer, in fact, but he spun it out of control, and that's practically his race over with, you have to say. And he's nearly even a lap down because I think I just saw the two Mercedes in the background, and well, that's that really. I think Tyron's trying to slow down to let him through anyway. I think he knows that the two Mercedes are there. And, well, he thought about it. It looked like he got himself a little bit compromised there because I didn't think he realised where the Mercedes were, where they were going to go. He lets Orange through. I don't think he's even realised Robert Hunter's there. And, well, I wouldn't be surprised if the stewards will investigate that one for sure. I wouldn't be surprised if he actually held up the two Mercedes drivers there. And, well, I bet the stewards will want to be having a word with him as a result of that. And MAATTA is out of the race. I wouldn't be surprised, but it's a crash that's taken him out just at the exit of that corner. I did say there may be another mistake coming out of that chicane, and it's clearly happened. Commentator's curse, and MAATTA is out of the Malaysian Grand Prix, and we're down to 12 runners as a result. And it looks like in the background, look, there seems to be a battle for P8 going on, because it seems like Oliver Glazebrook has taken 8th place from Cesar Hernandez, but Cesar Hernandez with the DRS as he tries to look to the inside in towards turn 1, but unable to make the move stick, and Glazebrook moves back up into 8th place after spinning off a little earlier on. But already it's been a disastrous race for Glazebrook, and I bet he wants to forget this weekend as a whole and move on to Bahrain next weekend. Race control, car 46, Tyron Reynolds under investigation for impeding the leaders. That was, of course, the two Mercedes drivers of Matt Orange and Robert Hunter, and well, that's going to have to be investigated for sure. I wouldn't be surprised if Co-Masters took note of that corner cut there from Oliver Glazebrook, just like they did with Robert Hunter last weekend at turn 1. But let's have a look at the replay. So Glazebrook was already ahead of Hernandez. Did Hernandez go for a move? Yes, he did. He dived it down the inside there. And, well, I wouldn't be surprised if that was under investigation. It looked like maybe Cesar there let him go, or Glazebrook just got him on pure slipstream. Who knows, really? But, anyway, through in towards the left-hander we go. Oliver Glazebrook there, just losing it just at the exit of that corner. And in the meantime, Tyron Reynolds there, off the track it appears. Looked like he might have gone a little bit deep. And, well, I wouldn't be surprised if he's ending his race quite soon. In fact, he's trying to let somebody else go. That's why it's Matthew Adler. And incident between cars 45, Oliver Glazebrook, and 98, Cesar Hernandez, under investigation for that collision down at the last corner. And Ty Reynolds there letting Alder go there as a result. And he also had a bit of lag there, did Ty Reynolds. So a little bit of lag going on from Ty Reynolds in the Red Bull, as it's already been a disastrous race for the British driver. And he was expected to do well since moving to Red Bull, but clearly it's not been the start that he would have anticipated since moving from Renault. And meantime, here's the race leader, Matt Orange, again not able to get away from Robert Hunter. Robert Hunter, pretty much half a second behind Matt Orange at this stage, and looks to try and get the lead back with 3 laps to go in this Malaysian Grand Prix. And well, that's that. So now as they come up towards the right-hander, which is the beginning of Sector 3, Orange now feeling the pressure himself, because it's now Hunter's turn to pile the pressure on his teammate, whereas Orange has been doing it the last couple of races, and even at the beginning of the race. It's now Hunter's turn to do the pressuring, but it looks like he's gone a little bit deep there, as now Orange has pulled at least a second now in front of Hunter, but Hunter's still able to get DRS, so he should be able to catch on the straight. As you can see from the on the left-hand side there, he is able to gain thanks to the DRS. If you've got a yellow flag, and again Ty Reynolds making a mistake. I don't know if he's trying to let people through or something like that, but again goes straight on at that corner, and he's got to let through Glazebrook and Hernandez. Like Hernandez there, just lost a little bit of lost the car a little bit there, just coming out of that hairpin. And Hernandez there, obviously getting a little bit compromised there by Ty Reynolds. And well, Reynolds needs to let Hernandez through as quickly as he can. Again, a little bit more lag, and Reynolds, you need to let him through. He is not racing you, and he does eventually let him go. But I wouldn't be surprised if the stewards will be having a word with him as a result, as they come up towards the final corner. And well, that's that really. It looked like there's a little bit of contact there between Reynolds and Cesar Hernandez. And well, that's that. So look like Reynolds may be a little bit late on the brakes there, going through to the last corner. Who knows really? And well, that's that. So now as they go through the first couple of corners, again more lag from Reynolds. He's been suffering from internet issues over the last couple of weeks, and again it's clearly showing here around Malaysia. That's probably why he disconnected during the Australian Grand Prix qualifying, let's not forget. And well, again the internet issues coming back to haunt Ty Reynolds in a way. And it looks like he may have to upgrade his internet if that is the case. But anyway, Hunter still 7 tenths behind Orange at this stage. And well, still trying to keep him honest as best as he can. So we've got a yellow flag down at Sector 2. Is it Ty Reynolds by any chance? Well, I can't see. And well, that's that. But more information, race control. Car 46, Ty Reynolds receives a race ban, impeding the leaders and others. So the stewards have taken note, and Ty Reynolds will be receiving a race ban for the Bahrain Grand Prix as a result. And I can't be surprised that he's got that, to be honest, because, well, it did look a little bit dodgy. But we are on to the final lap of the race, by the way. We're on lap 14 of 14. Matt Orange has started the final lap of this Malaysian Grand Prix. But meantime, we're looking at a battle for P6 between Aaron Collingwood and Ollie Flavel in the Toro Rosso. Flavel looking to the outside, in towards that final corner as they come down the pit straight now then, and in towards the first couple of corners on the track we go. And, well, is Flavel going to get the place of Aaron Collingwood as they go down in towards turn 1 on the track now then, as we've got a yellow flag down at Sector 3. And Ty Reynolds is out of the race. It looks like he's crashed it out. And Ty Reynolds out of the Malaysian Grand Prix. And, well, that's the end of his race then as a result. Unfortunately, not 90% of the race distance because, well, he was at least 2 laps down, I believe. And there he is. He crashed it down. I think that's at the left-right chicane, I believe. I might be wrong. And yes, it does look like it. I can't quite tell where that is. But he is out of the race. Race control. Car 98 receives a reprimand, causing a collision with car 45. That was at the last corner where Hernandez went for that dive bomb. He's just been given a reprimand for that. And, well, that's that. But meantime, we are on the final lap. Hunter is not giving up, though. He's got the DRS on Matt Orange. Who's going to win the race between the 2 Mercedes boys? And Hunter trying to dive it down the inside. Orange shutting the door there. But it's not going to be enough for Hunter. And it's going to be Matt Orange after a close finish with Robert Hunter, who's going to win the Malaysian Grand Prix. Congratulations to him and the Mercedes team. Hunter finishes second to ensure it's another 1-2 for Mercedes. Michael Moran finishes in third. A great finish for him. In the meantime, back to this battle for 6th. Flavel down the inside into the second last corner, and he grabs 6th from Collingwood, but it looks like Collingwood's trying to flick it back. Side by side they go between Flavel and Collingwood as it comes down the DRS straight now. Then who's going to grab 6th place as it goes down there, and there's contact. Collingwood and Flavel have hit each other. Flavel has crashed it out. Unbelievable scenes on the last lap. Flavel is crashed out. Collingwood is going to punch her. Lots of front wing as well. Collingwood's going to finish the race, but Flavel has crashed it out, but he is going to finish because he has completed 90% of the race disciplines. Looks like it's going to be 11th. Collingwood crosses the line in 6th. GLAZEBROOK a disappointing 7th. Also shout out to Alder there, who gets into 4th place there. 5th for shooting right on board with Joseph Willows, who's going to cross the line 9th after what has been a disappointing race for him. Incident between cars 22 and 26, which is Collingwood and Flavel under investigation after the race. Not a surprise there. Joseph Willows finishes in 9th as a result of a disappointing race, so 2 points for him. Double points it appears then for Renault. And TJ McLean, the reserve driver, is going to finish 10th to give points for Sauber. Brilliant stuff from him after all the luck thanks to the Collingwood and Flavel incident. TJ McLean is going to finish in 10th and pick up the final point for Sauber. Wow, what a very interesting race there, and a very exciting one as well as a result. Let's have a look at the replay then of what on earth happened. So let's have a look at it from Flavel's perspective there. So as you can see, he's looking straight on. It appears he just did not see Collingwood as a result and has smashed it into the wall as a result. And what a shame for him. He was looking good for some more points, but that sadly had to happen. Here is a view from Collingwood, so he is clearly alongside, and it just looks to me that Flavel just didn't give Collingwood enough room. It looks like Flavel there was expecting Collingwood to back out of that there, so I wouldn't be surprised if the stewards punish Flavel for that, but we'll have to wait and see. And Collingwood there crossing the line without a front wing and also with a puncher as well. But there are your top 3 finishes. Matt Orange is your winner, Robert Hunter second, and Michael Moore in third. The same top 3 as Australia, let's not forget. The same podium as well. But a very exciting race here at Kuala Lumpur. The champagne sprays. It's another victory for Matt Orange. Will he be able to keep it up in Bahrain? And will Robert Hunter actually try and win at the Malaysian Grand Prix? What an exciting race it has been. Sorry, at the Bahrain Grand Prix. An exciting race it's been here at Kuala Lumpur. So there you have it then, guys. After all of that, here is the results of the Malaysian Grand Prix. It was Matt Orange who won the race with Robert Hunter in second place. It was then Michael Moron who finished in third with Matthew Alder, who finished in 4th place. A brilliant result for him in the Haas, picking up Haas's first points of the season, with Jake Shute on his return finishing in 5th. Brilliant result for him. Aaron Collingwood in 6th, but let's not remember he is under investigation for that crash, and maybe that could all change. Oliver GLAZEBROOK, a disappointing 7th, unable to recover after what happened to him during the race. Disappointing stuff from him as far as he's concerned. And then it is Cesar Hernandez who finished in 8th, Joseph Willows in 9th, ensuring that Renault get a double points finish with TJ McLean, the reserve driver for Sauber, in 10th. Ollie Flavel was classified, but only in P11 as a result, and I bet he was very angry about that. Time Reynolds, of course, DNF, as did Yuri MAATTA in the Williams, and the people that did not attend, of course, were Andy Graham, Matthew Dummer, Cameron Barber, Mo Swanson, Connor Smith, Sam Thompson, and Francis McGinn. In the Drivers' Championship, as you can see, it is Matt Orange who still leads the way, but he's increased the lead now to 14 points ahead of Robert Hunter, with Michael Moore in 3rd. Oliver GLAZEBROOK still in 4th despite a disappointing race here in Malaysia. Matthew Alder has moved up into 5th place with Ollie Flavel, Jake Shute and Cesar Hernandez all tied up for 6th place. Then it is Connor Smith and Aaron Collingwood tied for 9th. Joseph Willows is in 11th with TJ McLean in 12th. The drivers still yet to score points are Matthew Dummer, Yuri MAATTA, Time Reynolds, Andy Graham, Cameron Barber, Sam Thompson, Francis McGinn, Liam Calvates is no longer in the lead, Mo Swanson, and of course Quinton Ladd when he eventually comes about. Hopefully he's there at the Bahrain Grand Prix, otherwise he will lose his seat due to the rule that there is where if you don't give a reason within 3 races why you didn't show up, you will unfortunately lose your seat. In the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes increased their lead at the top. They're on 86 points compared to Ferrari's 48. Toro Rosso is still in 3rd despite the crash from Ollie Flavel. Haas, Renault are tied for 4th place with Haas in front of Renault. Force India move up to 6th with Williams 7th. Sauber, the last team to have points, in 8th with McLaren, and Red Bull still yet to score points. But guys, that has been it then from the Malaysian Grand Prix. I hope you've enjoyed it. It has been a very exciting race here in Kuala Lumpur, and hopefully we're here next season as well. If that is the case, it will be the final Malaysian Grand Prix if we go back there in Season 6, because obviously it is the last F1 game to feature Kuala Lumpur, as Kuala Lumpur is not on the Formula 1 calendar in 2018. But guys, that has been it. I hope you've enjoyed it. We will see you next time at the Bahrain Grand Prix in Sakhir at the Bahrain International Circuit, the first of 2 night races for IF1C, and hopefully we can have an exciting one there, and hopefully the Ferraris can get a little bit closer in Bahrain as well, considering Sebastian Vettel won there in real life. But guys, that has been it. I hope you've enjoyed it, so thank you very much for watching. I've been JWF1, and I will see you guys next time at the Bahrain Grand Prix in Sakhir. Until then, take care.
I get my kicks from the thrill of the chase.